Well, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I thought we'd maybe use this time to connect with our 12 six missional practice trainers and just tell them how glad we are to have them with us at CI and looking forward to congratulating them for completing their training.
You know, one of the things I thought about when you told me you were going to be having this last session with them, I know all of them and have spent some time one-on-one with them in some groups, but all of this has been done online, right?
Well, a lot face-to-face, so we
Oh, yeah,
caught
'cause
up
you
the
traveled,
few,
yeah, yeah.
the few online, yeah.
And I think about number one, how important those face-to-faces are.
Mm.
Because what we're doing is about relationships.
Mm.
Yet you can sustain an already existing relationship online.
Yeah, that's true.
But these are people who we have a lot of trust. And
Yeah, we do.
we do expect, and I mean by that, expect, genuinely anticipate, they will do very well building good relationships, which is, as you and I both know, having done a little training once or twice together over 30 years, it's really at the core
Yeah.
of the potential to learn practices, and that's what we're talking about here. We're not mostly talking about ideas or even feelings or techniques. All those things are there, but we're really talking about how people discover these practices for themselves.
Yeah, okay, so the trainers we've selected who've completed all this training have the gift of being able to be in relationships and build trust. Would you say there's any other gifts that?
Well, obviously they're bright. We tend not to like to be with people who aren't very bright. I'm sorry, it's not. Neither of us are good at that.
Yeah.
And so they're bright. They're thoughtful. They obviously are persons of faith.
Mm.
Otherwise, well, why would you do this? There's obviously not a lot of money or prestige involved in it. You have to really believe that God is up to something in these practices.
Yeah. And that will shine through as they teach.
Mm.
Whether they're just encouraging people to, stay in silence a little longer in the dwelling in the Word, or don't be afraid to have people do it multiple times, and what gives them the bravery? Well, the really deep belief that God is up to something in these encounters that they're having.
One of the characteristics I can say with each of them is they are transparent to their faith.
Mm.
You don't have to guess. Which is not to say naive or trite or shallow, but there is a transparency
Mm-hmm.
that's very becoming and necessary actually to do this sort of training.
I think the groups they work with will notice that.
I'm counting on it.
Yeah. Okay, well, last question for you while I have you here in front of the webcam. I know you've talked a lot about Church Innovations over the years, 30 years, being a learning organization. But there's something really special about the 12 trainers continuing to come together in our third Thursday meetings or online or even in person when we get a chance. And tell me just a couple of your hopes for that learning community as it goes forward in time.
The possibilities for both gaining depth of knowledge that produces things like these practices, because as you know, these didn't fall out through some hypotheses that we wanted to test and then run them out, and sure enough they came up. But it took trust and the potential for that trust in this group to multiply itself and to move into yet more generations. It's the greatest hope I have. You and I are both at that point in our life where, what is it that Eric Erickson calls the generative, which is a fairly polite way of saying we're getting old and it's time to pass it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right. And well, we're not so old.
No.
We're just at the cusp of old age. to me, and I know for you.
We're right at the point where we have the wisdom to do something and actually can get it done yet.
Yeah, we still can kind of,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
On-
right.
On our good days, we can do it pretty well. But we really need to hand it on.
No,
And
that's
these are
right.
people to hand it on to. I mean,
Absolutely.
And they have that fourth, component of capacity, pass onable, habits.
Yeah.
They have those associative capacities.
And if they stay in community, in a learning community, that'll only multiply and get richer as time goes on.
If you don't associate, it's pretty darn hard to
Yeah.
pass anything
Yeah,
on.
you feel so lonely trying to do it by yourself too, which is, this is a kind of moral support group as well as a kind of dwelling in the Word and
It
a
is.
kick around the practices for getting ready for maybe our next workshop group. So, yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations to all of you for finishing the training, and we're just happy to have you with us.
And not only congratulations to you, but to you, Pat, too.
Thanks.
It's a good group.
Thanks.
Thank you.